Hello, I'm Pete Starkey at Real Time with IPC. The show has just opened, and the first personality that I have the opportunity to speak with is a very much respected old friend, Don Monn from Taiyo, America. Don, it's wonderful to see you again. And it's wonderful to see you this side of the Atlantic. Normally it's Europe when I bump into you.
Yeah, Pete, we do tend to speak quite often, and it is nice to visit here in California once a year. So thanks for having me.
It's good to see you, Don. Don, if we look back to November, we met in Germany. We talked about Inkjet solder mask. We I think, established that after many years of hard work, and an awful lot of people in the industry on both sides, the equipment side and the material side, having made some very sort of optimistic predictions. But we were actually there at the moment when inkjet solder mask could become a production reality.
We were, and that was very exciting, because if you remember, it was at the IPC conference about 5 years ago where we introduced the idea of the technology. And I remember telling everybody, we spoke, it's not here today, it may not be here tomorrow or the next day, but it's coming. Let's stay tuned. Yeah. So it is very exciting to see about all the new installations, all the activity from the supplier side of equipment and consumables. And again, we could break the news that there's actually an OEM that has approved inkjet solder mask, and it's being done in production each and every day.
That's fine.
Very exciting.
We were very sort of familiar with what was happening in Europe. Is the equivalent thing happening in North America, Don?
Well, we can't make that same statement that we can make in Europe, but one of the positive attributes is there is over 20 installations currently worldwide. And 6 months ago, I couldn't say that. And the very exciting thing is, if we see the movement of the mask, I feel very safe saying that a year from now, that number will be dwarfed.
Yeah.
There's already talk of several dozens more installations happening this calendar year. So that's progress. Yeah. So 5 years ago, we made a prediction or a comment, if you will, and today it's happening.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a technology that now you personally have very much experienced it. You can speak as an expert. You can give people very good advice and guidance from a process point of view.
Well, the interesting, anybody can hand you a card with ink on it and say, here, doesn't this look great, doesn't look pretty. Well, we've done that, but we've also been to the places where they're doing the manufacturing, so we can watch this real time. It's not just something that they did behind closed doors. We're there when they're running board after board after board, and you can look at them all. Now you know it's production proven, and the quality is there.
That's it's comforting to know. It's exciting times, and it will be interesting to see what the rate of progress is from this point onwards, though.
It is, and again, once you see it and experience it. And the OEMs are asking about it. Yeah. And once you get one or two of those online, no one wants to be left behind. Yeah. So it's going to grow much faster.
I think this was always a restriction in the past. It was that there was equipment and there was material, but there weren't any OEM approvals at that time. And the OEMs were being very cautious, I think, about accepting it. Now you say that OEMs are beginning to accept it, beginning to approve it, even beginning to specify it.
Well, some very large OEMs told us personally in a meeting, and again, I was there, I can remember, is that they need this technology probably more than the suppliers. It removes any question about what was on the surface of those pads prior. There's no mask ever there.
It's not as if you're putting it on all over and taking it off where you don't want it. You're only putting it down where you do want it.
Correct. It's fully additive. There's no subtractive. So there's a lot of advantages.
That's great. Don, can we sort of turn our attention momentarily to another product that I've heard of, which is a crack-resistant white solder mask?
Yeah, We introduced this at, the EIPC conference a year or so ago, to where Taiyo America, we went to the OEM's automotive whites for reflectivity and wanted to find out what was very important to them, what they wanted, what they needed. And crack resistance in automotive is very important. We took that technology to a white mask, made the product, and now we have traction with that mask because we actually have customers using it in production every day. Mm. So this was another idea that we had, that we learned through the OEMs and made a reality out of it.
Yep. There's another product name that I believe is connected with something that I heard in one of your presentations, again at a recent EIPC conference, and that is a thermally conductive solder mask, or thermo-cool, is it called?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right, Pete. You saw that. Thermo-cool is the name. Over the years, we decided to do a heat-spreading solder mask. Photo-imageable, put it on, take it off. And what we learned, again, from OEMs, is that if you're going to make a heat-spreading solder mask, it has to compete with copper and heat sinks. Mm-hmm. So it has to move a lot of heat. Well, doing that in a photo-imageable process wasn't working well. Mm-hmm. So what we decided to do, in order to increase the heat movement by 5x, we now have a thermally cured product. Yeah. So it's fully additive, there's no more removing, it's not photo-imageable. It's simply you screen it on where you want it, where you need it, and you final bake it, and it's done.
So this is a screen-printable product?
It's a screen-printable product. Yeah. We're just introducing it for really the first time, and it'll be available here, I believe, in about 3 weeks.
Sounds good. I wish you No, I think there'll be a ready market for it. I'm sure that it was developed on the basis of some good market research, but there'll be a ready market for it.
The research is if you can't move at least X amount of heat, don't waste your time, which was very important for us to hear. Yeah.
Do you have any actual thermal-conductivity figures for it, Don?
10 watts per meter Kelvin.
That's pretty thermally conductive.
Well, it is, and that's what we were told. The OEMs told us, if you can't get to double digits, don't even waste your time. Which was good information.
Because otherwise you'd be competing with metal, but now you're competitive with metal as a thermal conductor.
Sure, and you can only put this where you want it. So if you need, if you want to put some underfill under some IC pads, conductors, now it's possible.
Sounds good. Don, it's great to see you. It's great to talk with you. Thanks for all of the information that you've shared. We wish you a successful show.
Yep. Same to you, Pete. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Pete Starkey, real time with IPC. Thank you.